Let's take a few minutes and talk about the alphabet as a whole. When we talk about the alphabet, sometimes we use it also to discuss hand shapes. So besides talking about the 26 letters of the alphabet, we're going to talk about a couple hand shapes also. First off, the letter A. There's also what we call the modified A. The difference is the thumb. So the letter A, the thumb is in. A sign with a modified A is appointment. The thumb is up. So you will hear us say that's made with a modified A, or don't do that. That's a modified A, bring your thumb in. B, don't do B with your fingers open. That's a 4. You have B and you have a 4. These are examples of hand shape and why when we talk about the 4 parameters, your hand shape is important. A B is closed. Another example of a hand shape is your C. Notice how the pinky stays with the rest of your fingers? A lot of people tend to have their pinky up. Nope, it needs to stay down. D, this confuses everybody. If you look at your D and then you have your F, they're different. For some reason, this is the one that confuses everybody. If you look at your D and look at the whiteboard, look how the D is making a D. So you have your D. E. There are several ways to make E, and E is probably the most, we can say, versatile and ever-changing letter that we have in our alphabet. This is an E, but you can also have a closed E. See how the tips of her fingers touch the side of the thumb. That's a closed E. Some people do the open E. Now, you may not do this kind of an open E. That would be a C. So an open E is, and then a closed E. Either one of those are fine. It does not matter. Now, when I told you that E is ever changing, some examples of why E changes are when we finger spell, just like when you print. Let's say that we were going to print the letter awesome. Printing it would be A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Every letter is made very distinct. That's how we print. As we grow, we start to do things in cursive. The same thing happens with sign language. So that A-W-E is going to change a little bit. And notice what happens with the E. A-W-E. See how the pinky doesn't get involved? So it's a 3-letter E. That's totally legal. That's a good E. Now S-O-M-E. So we go from the W to the E and from the M to the E. Another example, ever. E-V-E-R. Or love. L-O-V-E. So we go from a V to an E. Now we get a 2-letter, 2-fingered E. Yep, we can do a 1-lettered one too. Look at rule. So I don't expect you guys, and I really don't want you guys to be doing 1-letter, 2-letter, or 1-fingered, 2-fingered, 3-fingered E's. But you will see them. When you see them, you need to be able to recognize them. They are legit letters. They are okay to do that way. But you need to know that you're getting into cursive. Right now, you're in ASL 1. You need to learn how to print. So print your letters. Make your letters clear. If you see that you went from a R to an E, that's okay if it's a 2-lettered, 2-fingered one. But that's not your goal right now. Right now, your goal is to be clear. E, F. F. Now, we're going back to our board, but look at our F. See how you've got those fingers up? Some people look at it and see it as the cursive F and all of the little cursive that's going on. Other people see it as the 2 lines. They see the fingers as those lines. However it is that it can help you to differentiate between your D and your F. E, F, G. Your G It can rotate. So your G may be any of these rotating ways, but it doesn't go up and it doesn't go down. It stays flat, but it will rotate. H, same thing. It rotates, but it does not go up and it does not go down. It rotates this way. I, it's just up. Now, it can be with the thumb around the fingers or it can be beside the fingers. It'll be depending upon what you spell before or after it. You need to be careful that it's not out. This is a Y, this is an I, and this is an I. This is not I. J is an I that just comes down into a J. It can be the other way too, this way or this way, but this is your J. K, the one with this is that the pad of your thumb touches the pad of your middle finger. K. Sometimes it's cocked just a little bit. Either way, K or K. Don't have wimpy fingers, and your pinky and ring finger, they need to not be out. They need to be under and clean. When you're doing all of your finger spelling, you want your fingers to be nice and clean. Excuse me. L. Again, see how the fingers that are not involved are closed or down? You don't want them out. You want them, they're not involved, they're down. Some people are double jointed and will do weird things with their thumb, or they'll bend their index finger in weird ways. Just make an L. Don't get disjointed with it. Make an L. M, you will see it drawn this way in every book, and you will see N drawn this way. They can draw them however they want. When they're signed, you will see it signed M and N. This is how they are signed. You trip over yourself. You cannot sign this way. It's too awkward. So M, N, O. It's an O. And it typically is this way. We don't rotate our O. It just stays here. But we do have a flat O. And the flat O's, they do all kinds of movement. It's a hand shape. It's not a letter. But you will see flat O. You teach. You have none. So flat O is a hand shape you need to know. P is just like our K, but it drops down. Q is just like our G, and it drops. R, the other fingers are down. These guys are crossed. That's it. S is a fist. Some people know it as soul. S. T, you can kind of see the T if we really exaggerate it, but you don't have to exaggerate it. It's just T. U is just like your H. It's just like your N. So it matters. This would be a good example of your palm orientation. H, U, N, it matters. V, U, V, W, X, it usually cocks a little bit. Y, you can see the Y, and Z. Z is done with your index finger. J is done with your pinky. Z is done with your index finger. Okay, I think that's everything.